Hey everyone, welcome to Infinite Light. My name is Shawnee. I already pulled cards before today's reading as per the norm. And the first card I got was the Moon card. And the second card I got was the Hermit, but I was told to do it in reverse. Okay, so the Moon card and Hermit in reverse. And so I started meditating and praying on them, and I got messages right away. So the Moon card, and I'm going to be looking at my notes. So the Moon card, I was told to concentrate specifically on lunar cycles because right now is a pretty heavily magical time as far as that is concerned. Depending on when you're watching this video, would have been a new moon in the month of August, either last night or today, depending on also where you are in the world. And new moons bring about the power to set intention for that month, intention for your the growth of your current energy, or intention for your year, yourself, intention. You can kind of look at it like a new month resolution, almost like as if you were doing like a New Year's resolution. So you're supposed to try to do that around the energy of the new moon. And then because this is a super auspicious time in the world right now, coming up at the end of this week, depending on when you're watching this video, is the Lionsgate portal, right? So the 8/8 portal. So the 8th month of August, which is August, the 8th day in 2024, 224 equal 8. So 888. So they're calling this the Lionsgate portal, and this is great for personal growth. So how awesome is it that you've got intention, the new moon of intention coming up at around the same time, using the same energy to help promote personal growth. So you're being asked to pay really close attention to this time. And how can you do that? Get your mind right. Essentially, get your mind right. Don't concentrate on what you don't want to have happen in your life. Use this time to intentionally concentrate on the things that you do want to have happen, right? And I heard a tarot reader earlier today who I absolutely love and adore. Her name is Moon, and she's out of Australia, so look her up. She just recently posted a video that said that goodness, maybe it wasn't Moon, but her name is Moon, and I'm talking about the moon, so go check her out. Yeah, please help support her. She's amazing. But anyways, a tarot reader just recently said, what's the best that can happen in a situation? So instead of looking at some situation that you've been dealing with and having the whole woe is me, look at it like, what can I gain from this, right? And so that's how your mind has to be intentionally focused during this time. But you want to grow to a point to where you're intentionally focused like that always. All right, I know it's harder than, it's easier said than done, but that's what you should be working towards. All right, so using these lunar cycles, the lunar cycles help you concentrate on your emotional nature, and you emotionally resonate. The reason why you react the way you react in certain situations emotionally is because of your childhood. So it all comes from how we were nurtured as a child. So if you've got some unhealed wounds that you, as a kid, that you haven't addressed yet, that you're choosing not to address, your spirit guides are saying, now is the time. Pick what it is. I'm kind of being told to look at it like, I'm not a debt consultant. I'm not a financial consultant, but you know, you hear people say, when you go to try to tackle your debt, you want to tackle the low hanging fruit, right? So the ones that are easy to pay off first, like the debts that are easy to pay off first, to get them out of the way and then work your way up, right? It's like that. So tackle the wounds, the child wounds inside of you, the low hanging fruit, the ones that aren't going to exhaust you to no end first. And then you work your way up. This isn't something that has to happen in a week. This isn't something that has to happen before the 8th of the month. Hurry up and get it done. No. It took a whole childhood to receive those wounds. It's not going to take a day to relieve those wounds. You do it in your own time, but start being conscious Don't be cautious. Start being conscious of that. And if it's something that you don't feel like you can handle on your own, first you can pray and ask for guidance with your spiritual team, but then also to please do not be afraid to seek professional help, especially depending on how deep the wounds are, and how much fear comes up when you start to tackle them, because you don't want fear to be in the way. You need to be mentally prepared and to approach a heavy situation. You are also being asked with the moon. The moon is to trust your intuition. So proceed forward. Like I said, the low hanging fruit. Proceed forward with the internally check yourself. What is it that I would like to tackle? And the first thing that comes to mind, that's your intuition. That's your higher self saying, tackle this. And that should be what it is that you eat at first, right? To get to your higher self in handling things that prompt your emotions in a more mature way, in a more healed manner. All right. Continuing to go along with the moon card. The moon card is a Pisces card, and I'm not saying that I'm only talking to Pisces or this message is only for Pisces. No, but Pisces season could be significant to you. Like February, March time frame is probably who I'm talking to. Could have been when things started provoking your mind to think a little bit differently. Maybe a significant sort of like tower moment happened, meaning like something drastically changed in your life that you could see, or just like in your head. February, March could just be significant because of certain people in your life might have passed during that time or been born during that time. So these are different kind of awakenings. February and March, and it doesn't have to be February or March in this last year, but just February and March in general could be very significant to you. Pisces is also water, right? So water in normal tarot, when you see the cups, you're talking about water. So this is all emotions. That all equates to emotion. So this is your guide saying, we got to get our emotions. Let's use these portals. Let's use these lunar energies to help get our emotions in check. The more you have that, the easier it is to grow, to ascend to your higher timeline. Another verse that came with this, or a quote, is I uncover hidden truths. And that's what the moon is. The moon is when you go, a lot of people look at it as the darkness that surrounds the night. Let's be like physical, the moon, the physical moon, as it like hides truths, but you're being asked to use the light that comes from the moon to uncover, like a flashlight, to uncover those things that are hiding, the shadows that are hiding in the dark, those skeletons that you have in the closet. And then you're also being asked to release any codependent relationships that you have, because those are not serving you. So that's you using your intuition again to identify that, to get your flashlight, to use the light of the moon to shine light on what codependent relationships am I currently in right now. And you need to start shedding those like how a snake would shed its skin, because those attachments might be stopping you from moving forward. They might be slowing your forward movement because you're concentrating on the wrong things. How do you release codependent relationships? Number one, identify. It's like a 12-step program. Number one, identify that you're in a codependent relationship, and then start working backwards on how to release yourself from these attachments. Pisces goes with the moon card. Pisces is the last zodiac sign of the 12. And so they're kind of a collective of all. It's like the the fish was swimming through every single zodiac sign to get to itself, and so it picked up little remnants of 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 each zodiac sign. So a Pisces person are generally pretty easy to relate to because they kind of have little personality traits of each of the zodiac sign. And I'm bringing this up because you're going to get to a point where you're going to be so emotionally regulated that it's going to be easier for people to relate to you and for you to relate to others. So it's going to be multifaceted. Relatable is coming up really big in that statement that I just said. Also, the numbers 1, 8, and 9. 1 coming up as you being the architect, right? So you have to understand that you are the creator of your reality. All right. So if you actually set forward with intention with these moon cycles, with my kids in the background, it's summer, with these moon cycles, with these portals that open up each ever so often when they open, you actually had using those to help create your life, create your current reality and your future reality. You need to know that you are the creator of such. 8 comes up as energy is limitless. Okay, so when you're sitting down and you're setting your intention, you don't want to set it in, you want to use your imagination. Again, what's the best that could happen? So instead of saying, man, I could really use this $100 to pay off this one thing, it's more of stop putting a limit on it, more so like, and don't be begging. It's like, I deserve the finances that I need to get me to A, B, and C place in my life, right? Instead of just putting like a cap on it. Number 9 comes up is wishes and manifestations. Well, I'll be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a star card today, and once I pull tarot. But you have to understand that the things that you desire, and I've said this before, you desire them for a reason, especially if they're super positive in nature. It's because it's your higher self that's saying that this is the path you're supposed to be on. So you're desiring these things for a reason. I was told to read the Hermit description in reverse direct out of this guidebook. So I'm going to give it to you. All of the cards that I use are linked down below. If you feel lost or confused, go within. Trust that your path will become clear when you connect with yourself on a soul level. Be careful not to get lost in a deeply spiritual path, though, okay? By disconnecting from the outer world. Remember I said relatable? You're going to get to a point to where you become relatable. Something that happens when you grow spiritually is you naturally go into hermit mode and you kind of disconnect and you pull. And that's a way to protect your energy so that you can heal, right? But in this particular thing, they're saying, yeah, go ahead and do that, but don't stay in that. And so that's why it's coming up as a reverse. Yes, you do need to find a solitude to help heal yourself, because only you can truly be the one to pull yourself out of any holes that you've been in. Even if you go to therapy, a therapist is going to send you home with homework, usually things that you need to do on your own, but don't stay there, because you're being called to almost like share your testimony once you reached a healing. Let's pull some tarot and see what else that we can get. What can you tell me? What do you need to tell the collective in relation to these this moon card, this hermit card in reverse? Pull 2 off the top, they say. Yeah, so you need to release any confusion that you have or any self-doubt. Remember I was saying, like, you need to use your intuition to figure out which low-hanging fruit you need to tackle first. So I'm being told that you should get like a notebook or use the notes on your phone and just start writing. Allow yourself to scribe some possible things that you still haven't tackled. And it's like the first three are the things that you should set maybe the next 90 days towards. But you don't need to be like overwhelmed or allow yourself to get to a point of self-doubt, because the it's a this is another YouTuber that brought this up, but it's amazing to me how people don't understand, like, you're fine with the moon setting, you know, the tides in the ocean. That's fine, like intellectually you're fine with that. But some people are just like, the moon doesn't have any control over me and my moods. And there's like whole entire a werewolf can turn from a regular person into a werewolf with the power of the full moon. So I get that that's like just like a character, but wouldn't it be fun if you just released the walls that you've put, that society has put up in your head, and you said, well, what if the moon does actually have give me a little bit of oomph, a little bit of something to help get me into a place of power, knowing that I have the power to create my life and create my reality, and that it just pushes me that much further in my healing process. So it helps me release any sort of self-doubt. You in a traditional tarot, this woman that's standing in the middle of all of these swords, she's got like a bandana around her eyes, but it's loose, and she's keeping it on her eyes because she doesn't realize that she can just literally just pull it down. You can literally just heal yourself. You have to just pull down any and throw away any doubt you have in yourself. People have told you you're not good enough or made you feel not good enough, but that ain't the truth, baby. Because you are fully capable of moving in a direction of balance within yourself, fully capable of being the architect. You no longer need to feel like the things you didn't want to tackle are, you no longer need to lock them in the back of your head. A new movie that just came out. What is the movie with the kids movies with like the little emotions that are like in her head or something like that? Joy was one of them. The feeling of joy. But Joy was one of the characters who was trying to get this girl that she was like the emotions of, right? And she was trying to take all of the bad memories and push them and lock them back. And that's what your head does. Like, it pushes them and locks them back, right? But we don't realize, even though they're back there, they still have power. And so you need to stop kind of locking them away. Allow them to come out and tackle them so that you can heal, so that you can become a better version of yourself. You need to learn new ways of thinking. Yeah, so we're talking about your childhood memories, and that came up reversed. And I don't always read these cards reversed, but I'll listen. And the reason why it came up reversed is because you are just looking. You don't want to look back at those childhood memories that don't bring you joy. You're cool with reliving Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episodes. You're cool with, reliving like old WWF SmackDowns or whatever. You're cool with reliving like Saved by the Bell kind of stuff. You're cool with reliving that, but the negative, not so much. But as long as you utilize your resources, you can really make a change in your life, and you can bring about stability. This is something coming towards you to help bring you resources to get to a healing. And it could just be me. It could not just, because words have meaning. It could also be me prompting you like, hey, this is your time. Your spirit guides are saying This is your time to start that healing, or to really deep dive into the healing if you've already started. But this is saying that it's new. Do you see how small he is? He's a little kid, right? These kids are coming up a lot. He's a little kid who hasn't matured yet. But you are being gifted this opportunity, this notion of, yeah, it's my time to tackle it, right? Do you see this butterfly right there? It's a sign of new beginnings. That's the only card that I've pulled so far that has the butterfly. You are the architect. You can create your new beginnings, and you do that by taking step one, identifying what issues it is that you might have. I'm listening to see what cards we need to pull. All right, so we're going to pull some Ask Your Guide messages. We're getting three cards. Okay. So first card that comes up is teamwork. And this could be the team of you sitting within yourself, connecting to your higher self, and addressing some of this low-hanging fruit. A team can be you and a trusted, already healed person. You don't want to, when you start healing, okay, and you start truly trying to tackle some of the stuff that's happened to you in your past, you don't want to go into vent mode with somebody else who is at the same point of their life or behind you, because the energy that they bring to you isn't going to allow you to heal. They'll just be like, oh yeah, girl, yeah. No, we don't need that. What we need is the ear and the heart of someone who has either been there, done that, or just has what you want in life. A successful person. You don't go to somebody who is unsuccessful to find out how to become successful. You might get like tips from them on how not to be and things not to do, but you're not going to get the full picture of how to actually be successful. Teamwork can also be you getting with a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a life coach, a spiritual coach, to help you get to a healing. All right, so you got teamwork, you got abundance. Okay, let's look at, it's a very pretty sort of lotus card on there. I like that. I like the colors on that and everything. You got, that's 36 is the number on that one, and it is abundance. So let's see what 36 has to say, because these are meant to be like advice, right? Fill your heart with gratitude and appreciation for the good things in life that you have right now. Let me tell you something. As somebody who has gone and continues to go through a healing, you get to what they call like the dark night of the soul, when things are so dark, when you are actually actively trying to tackle the things in your life that have affected you in such a way that you get like real angry. You go through these emotions again. You feel angry, you feel abandoned, you feel yucky, you just feel ugh. And let me tell you right now, the way that you get through that is to remind yourself of the blessings that you have now. And I say it every day in my prayers throughout the day. I say, thank you for the blessings seen and unseen. And sometimes I get to a point where I actually have to list. I will physically list in my journal, on my phone notes, say, this happened for me, this happened for me, this happened for me. And it's a way to pull you out of that negativity that you are healing your way through, and then back into the present of, I'm okay, I'm safe. And it's a way to get your child that you're trying to heal, your child wounds, the one that's in there in the back of your head, the one that's in there in your heart. And you say, like, my name is Shawnee, right? So I will talk to a younger version of myself and say, Shawnee, we are safe. You are safe. Shawnee, you are successful. Shawnee, look at you now. You are building stability in your life. And I will say that. I literally will. I do it in the shower a lot, right? As I'm cleansing out old energy, I'll bring her forward, and I will say that. I also have an altar off to the side over here where I have a picture of a young version of myself on my altar, so that when I go and I say my prayers, I'll like do a little to her, like, hey, you're okay, boo. I got you, right? People think it's weird, but it legit is a thing. It legit is a thing. Okay, and then you've got 40, which is pleasure. I love these cards. These are your Ask Your Guides Oracle cards, by Sonia Croquet. I don't want to mispronounce her name. They're linked down below, but I love her. She's amazing at teaching people how to really trust and grow their intuition and connect with their spirit guides, also to manifest. Look her up. She's great. All right, so let's do pleasure, which is a 40 card. I get 40s a lot. I've gotten 41, I've gotten 42, and now I'm getting 40. I get 40s a lot in my readings, and I always say, maybe it's because I'm talking to my millennials, or my fellow millennials are waking up. I don't honestly know, but the numbers mean something. So as they pop up, they might mean something to you. Relax and enjoy life. Everything will be okay. Even though you are going back and you're looking at some things that were not okay. Your present circumstances you are okay. And if your present circumstances aren't to a point where you can say that you are okay, that's why you're being told to release those codependent relationships. Because in order to truly heal the past, you need to make sure that your present is at least secure. And it could be just a temporary situation, right? But you need to make sure that your present is at least secure. If you are in a place where you cannot get to like a safe space in your head because the energy around you is so negative, I suggest you make your room a safe haven. You make the bathroom a safe haven. You make your closet a safe haven. And how do you do that? You cleanse it. You keep it clean. You keep the presence in it happy. That's where you pray. That's where you journal. That's where you do your hobbies. You light incense. You light sage. You open windows. You keep it bright. You keep it light. And that can be your safe space. And if you have a hard time doing that, then if you're a mom like me, you can try to do the whole 6 a.m. wake up, 5 a.m. wake up thing that these people are doing, and get your tea, get your coffee, get your morning lemon water, and just breathe in the morning air, and that can be your safe space until you can get to a place where you can detach yourself from these codependent relationships. Your kids don't count. not if they're young. If they're grown, then this might be a message for you as well. I'm being told to leave it right here. So this is what I want for you. I want you to, if you, as many times as you need to listen to this video to get the tips, because I brought up quite a few things, do that, but realize that you are worth it and you are the architect of your life. Comment down below, let me know where you're watching this video from, how this resonated with you. Share this video if you've got friends that you think are ready, if you've got friends that you think aren't ready, because this could be their sign, okay? Share it with love, share it with good intentions, and pray for that person, or meditate on that person, or just think happy thoughts for that person. If you haven't done so yet, go ahead and like and subscribe. Turn on those bell notifications. I like to post every other day as much as I can as a mom. School is starting here pretty soon, depending on when you're watching this and when school starts in your neck of the woods. So maybe that means a little bit more free time. Maybe that means more videos. I don't know. Let's think happy thoughts about it. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. See you soon.